Hey everyone, and welcome to the info session for our touring and travel program. Before we do start, I'd just like to acknowledge that we are all on Aboriginal land today. I'm on the lands of the Gadigal people, and I pay my respect to elders past and present, and to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people that are part of this session. I also just wanted to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands that you are all working from today as well. So my name is Peter Keogh. I'm the Manager of Investment and Partnerships here at Sound New South Wales. I'm just going to start by letting you know what we'll be covering in this session. So to begin, I'm going to give you a quick intro to Sound New South Wales, so who we are and what we do. And then we'll talk through some details of the touring program, including some application tips, and I'll take you through the key dates as well. I'm joined today by some other Sound New South Wales staff members, including Sophie McCormish, who will help with the presentation today. So just a little bit about Sound New South Wales. We're a dedicated office within the New South Wales government, and we're committed to the growth, development and promotion of contemporary music in New South Wales. We're an industry development office, and we provide advocacy and leadership, strategic initiatives, policy and development, and of course, investment and funding. And in the last financial year, so in 23-24, Sound New South Wales invested more than $15 million into the contemporary music industry via grants that supported artists, acts, artist managers, live music venues, and music organisations. This included $2.6 million through the Touring and Travel Fund, which supported 179 domestic and international tours. Many highlights from that round, but a couple just to talk to now include the Boys for their debut UK and European tour, which included a performance at the Great Escape. We supported Barker's first national tour, Nick Ward to perform at London's All Points East Festival, and also Speed's 31-date tour of America. So today, Sophie and I are going to talk you through the new Touring and Travel Fund. And our Touring and Travel Fund supports travel and accommodation costs for New South Wales musicians and industry professionals that are undertaking domestic or international activity. So this could be a tour, a performance at a significant showcase, market or industry event, an industry professional working with contemporary music artists and acts to attend a showcase, market or industry event, or also to attend other identified business opportunities like meetings. And we can also support general professional development opportunities for artists and industry professionals, including attendance at events, workshops, camps, mentorships and residencies. The program is open all year for applications with monthly assessment meetings. Applications that are submitted by midday on the last Friday of each month will be grouped together for assessment. Applications will then be competitively assessed against other applications in the round and against the published assessment criteria. Applicants will be notified of the decision within 4 weeks of this date. There are a couple of exceptions to this schedule. So given the Christmas and the New Year office closure period, we can't offer a December closing date, unfortunately. And that's also pushed out our notification for the November closing date to early January. We've also got Anzac Day falling on a Friday in 2025, so the April closing date will be midday, Thursday, the 24th of April. There's a full list of application due dates and the corresponding tour start date in our FAQs on our website, but I'll also talk through those dates later in the presentation. So this is a 3-year program and it will remain open until June 2027. I know there are some tours being planned well in advance, and although we've only published closing dates and tour start dates to the end of 2025, you can be assured that this program will be able to support tours into 2026 and 2027, and we'll be updating the schedule and the key dates throughout the year. So for those that received funding in 23-24, you may have picked up some minor changes to the program. And before we go much further, I did just want to speak to those key differences. And most of these changes relate to a change in the funding model. So in 23-24, we had a funding model designed to spend the program budget in just 3 months. We now have a program that's open all year, and we need a funding model that will help us distribute that budget across the entire year. So applications will now be grouped together for monthly assessment meetings, and those applications will be competitively assessed against the assessment criteria. So having an eligible tour or a showcase invitation won't guarantee you funding. You will need to excel against the assessment criteria. We can now support a wider range of music industry professionals. So previously this was limited to artist managers, but now other industry professionals working within contemporary music can apply. So this might include booking agents, record label staff, festival presenters, producers, etc. In your application, you just need to demonstrate how the opportunity not only benefits your own career, but also how the opportunity will benefit the artists that you're working with. International activity is now supported at $5,000 per person. Previously, it was $7,500. Artists, acts, and industry professionals from regional and remote New South Wales can request an extra $500 per person to help support their additional travel costs. You just need to allocate this additional request within your budget as both income and expenditure. Some contemporary music practices will be supported through Sound New South Wales programs and others through existing Create New South Wales programs. So if you're working across contemporary classical, contemporary opera, art music, notated composition and ensemble work, you will need to apply to Create New South Wales to their classical music and opera ensemble assessment board. If you're working within experimental music and sound art, you will need to apply to Create New South Wales to their digital, experimental, immersive and light art assessment board. And if you're working within music theatre, you will need to apply to Create New South Wales to their theatre and musical theatre assessment board. Sound New South Wales is also committed to representing the diverse contemporary music sector. And through this program, we will ensure that 50% of the program budget is allocated to female and non-binary artists, and 15% of the budget is allocated to First Nations artists. I'm now going to pass over to Sophie, who's going to talk you through the next couple of slides.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophie. My role is Music Liaison at Sound New South Wales. I'm coming to you from Darrawalland today. So what can the Touring and Travel Program fund? We can fund up to $2,500 per person for domestic activity and up to $5,000 per person for international activity. We can support up to 6 people in your touring party, and I'll go into more detail on that on the next slide. The program can support travel and accommodation costs only. So you will need to cover other costs like artist fees, production costs like venue fees or backline hire, marketing, photography, content creation, etc. But hopefully we're capturing a lot within travel and accommodation, including all modes of transport like flights, trains and bus, car hire, petrol and tolls, airport transfers, insurance, per diems for the touring party and accommodation. So we can support up to 6 people in your touring party. This includes the musicians primarily, but we can also support a maximum of 1 operational crew member, for example, manager, tour manager, or key technical production crew like your sound person or your front of house. And the touring party can also include 1 additional support person for people with disability, family or childcare needs or cultural needs. We're interested in making touring accessible to everyone. So if this type of support is required to get you on the road, include it in your application and just let us know who they are and how they will be helping you. There may also be cases where we can support more than 6 people. So for example, if you're an 8-piece band, we may be able to support the 8 musicians. Or if you have additional support needs, we may be able to support more people to help make the tour happen. If this is you, just get in touch with us and we can talk it through. Regarding eligibility requirements, this program is open to artists, acts and industry professionals. You or the members in your act need to be at least 18 years old, currently living in New South Wales and have been a resident of New South Wales for at least 12 months, and importantly, performing new and original music. Also, you won't be eligible if you have any overdue acquittals from any previous grants from Sound New South Wales, Create New South Wales, or other New South Wales government departments. So if you do have an overdue acquittal, now is the time to submit it. We also need some confirmation of the activity that you're proposing to undertake. So for a tour, you will need to provide confirmation of at least 3 performances in different locations outside of your resident city or town. This could be an itinerary from a booking agent or an email from the venue, promoter, or festival confirming the booking. If you're applying for a performance at a significant showcase, market, or industry event, you'll need to provide the official invitation to perform. The event also needs to be outside your resident city. And if you're an industry professional applying to attend a significant showcase, market, or industry event, you'll need to provide either an official invitation to attend or evidence of a business opportunity. That evidence might be an email confirming a meeting with a label or a booking agent or a festival, something that will help your career development and the artists you represent. The event also needs to be outside your resident city. So you can receive a maximum of 1 domestic and 1 international grant through this program per financial year. And grants received in 2023-24 won't count towards this. As Peter mentioned, this program will be competitively assessed by a panel of industry assessors against the advertised assessment criteria as available in the guidelines. That criteria is artist experience, impact on your career, and the viability of the activity. Your application will be scored against this criteria, so you need to make sure you clearly address the criteria in your application. Some tips on what we're looking for. To address artist experience, you should be telling us about your music career to date, outlining key achievements around previous tours, what industry relationships, networks, and support you have, how you are engaging with your audiences, and provide strong examples of your previous work. To address the impact on your career, you should be clearly articulating how this activity will help develop your skills and further your music career. This is really key, so why this project is important for you right now. How the activity will develop domestic or international networks, audiences, and profile, and how the activity contributes to a diverse contemporary music sector in New South Wales, particularly around supporting First Nations, women, and non-binary artists. Finally, to address viability, you need to speak to your capacity and experience to deliver the activity, including achievements of previous tours, your itinerary, including confirmation of those shows. Let us know your plans for promoting the tour and any key partners that will be supporting the tour, and a clear and detailed budget outlining total project costs and how you will spend the requested amount. To apply for funding, you will need to complete an application form through our secure online grant system, Smarty Grants. If you're a new applicant, you will need to register before you log in. The application will ask you to provide a bio that outlines your music career to date and any key achievements so far, answers to a series of questions about your tour or industry event attendance. So what are you doing? Where are you going? Why is this opportunity important for your career development? And why is it important now? We also want to know how you'll be promoting the activity, who is in your touring party, and an itinerary. We need a budget completed in Smarty Grants detailing income and expenditure, as well as support material, which would include links to examples of your music. And finally, as we've mentioned, the relevant confirmation of the activity, whether that's a tour or industry event performance or attendance. Okay, back over to you, Peter.
Great, thanks, Sophie. I was going to talk you through some of the key dates and the timelines. So this program is open all year for applications, and we'll be having monthly assessment meetings. Applications that are submitted by midday on the last Friday of each month will be grouped together for assessment. And this table here shows the latest that an application can be submitted and the corresponding earliest activity start date. So if you apply on or before Friday, the 29th of November, which is our first closing date, activity cannot start before Wednesday, the 8th of January. Likewise, applications submitted between Saturday, 30 November and Friday, 31st of January will be grouped together for assessment. Activity for this round cannot start before Wednesday, the 28th of February, and so on. That's not to say that you can't apply in January for activity that's happening in June. you definitely can. And in fact, we encourage you to apply as soon as your tour is booked, confirmed, and you have all the required information ready for an application. Obviously, it's going to be in your benefit to know the outcome of funding well ahead of the tour, so that you can make any adjustments or look at other sources of income, etc. This is a 3-year program and will remain open until June 2027. And I know that some tours are being planned well in advance, and although we only have published closing dates and tour start dates to the end of 2025, you can be assured that this program will be able to support tours into 2026 and 2027, and we'll be updating the schedule throughout the year. So that brings us to the end of the info session. I do wish you all luck with your applications, and please, reach out to Sophie and I for any questions about this program, about your tour, or about your application. The best way that you can reach us is through the Sound New South Wales email address at info@nsw.gov.au. Thanks again for joining us, and hopefully we will be hearing from you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.